Why am I decluttering this and this? But a better question is probably, how did it even get into my house to start with? Let's just jump right in, and I'm gonna go over all the things I'm decluttering this month and why. And thank you, Noom, for partnering with me on this video, but more on that later. This is a frame that my mom decided to declutter, and I know all of you say I never take anything that my mom declutters, but sometimes I do. I took this and I brought it here thinking I might be able to use it in my home. After keeping it for at least a month, I have decided I'm going to let it go. There is nowhere in my home that this fits into. It's not really a sentimental item. It's just something that I should have let go when she let it go. As I'm talking through these things, I am going to stick them in the box to go. It doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to be donated. I will go through later, but I just want to get them out of my house. If you follow me over on my vlogging channel, which I can link down below, we just switched out some curtains in our kitchen. This was originally a table runner that we cut in half and turned into a curtain. I never really loved it, and 3 years later, I finally put something that I like up. So this is going to go. Again, I saved it for a little while to see if there was anywhere else in my home I could use it, and there isn't, but it's still in good condition. Someone could use it as a curtain or a table runner. Today's video is sponsored by Noom. I have been using Noom to try to lose a little bit of weight. What I love about Noom is it helps you learn how your mind works rather than being a strict diet. They say it's learning, not dieting, which leads to lasting changes, and I'm actually seeing a lot of results. Noom helps you find your big picture, which is the reason why you want to lose weight or get in shape. And my big picture is wanting to have more energy and more strength so I can go out and have fun and play with my kids. One thing I love about Noom is you can track how much water you drink each day, which helps me to stay hydrated, especially in these warm summer months. It helps me to stay motivated, which keeps me on track. It helps to keep track of how many steps I take each day. One lesson I loved is to start eating less dense. And by using Noom, I can report that I've already lost 5 pounds. Click on the link below or go to noom.com/Shannon Torrens to take your free Noom evaluation. It's quick, easy, and they can help you create your custom plan. That is noom.com/SHANNONTORRENS, noom.com/Shannon Torrens. When I first had Levi, I was offered a ton of bottles that I was so grateful for. Turned out that Levi ended up loving a different kind of bottle, and I never even used these. So I still have them packaged up, and I'm going to see if one of my friends can use these. I just love being able to pass on items that are gently used, and in this case, some of the items were brand new. It's a great way to save money when you are only using something for a really short time. Sadly, this backpack has only lasted through kindergarten and second grade. First grade, we were home the whole year, so that doesn't count. But it has ripped here at the top, and when my son puts his computer in it, which they have to carry now, the whole thing just sags down. It doesn't really have any support. This was a learning experience for me because instead of letting him pick the cool backpack with the fun design on it, this year I went and tried to pick a higher quality backpack, not necessarily more expensive, but just something that has a lot more structure in it. Here is a breast pump that I'm getting rid of, another item that worked great, I used, but I no longer need, and I want to get rid of these things immediately out of my house. As you can see, just 1 month worth of gathering some stuff can add up to a huge pile that takes up a lot of space in our homes. And this is something in the past that I would have had up in a closet, never thought of, and just thought, oh, you know, someday I'll get rid of that when I do a big declutter. But by going through my house and when I see something, gathering it, putting it in the spot to get rid of immediately helps keep me from having all those giant declutters and having all that space being taken up for really no reason at all. Some things just keep getting cycled around. I had decluttered these shoes and given them to my mom. She tried to use them and couldn't use them. They're in perfect condition. We wear the same size shoes. So she brought them back to me, said, "Are you sure you don't want them?" I said, "I am sure. These are going in the box to be given away immediately. I don't want things coming back into my house that I've already previously decluttered. Here is a purchase that just did not work out for me. I saw so many people using these silicone mats. I thought this would be the answer to all of my baking dilemmas where things might stick, and I used them quite a bit trying them out. I just don't like them. It's just a personal thing. All of the food to me did not get crispy enough. I felt there was a lot of oil buildup when things were cooking, just a lot of wetness. It didn't crisp things. And maybe I was doing it wrong, I don't know. But they also got really nasty and almost impossible to clean. They're so greasy feeling. No matter how I try to clean these, I just cannot get them to feel clean again. So I am going to be getting rid of these, and I want to just say that sometimes this is what happens in life. We try things out and we think it's going to be something that is going to make our lives better or easier, and then it just doesn't work. While I'm way less likely to try a lot of different things, this was something I did try and it just didn't work for me, and I'm not going to be upset about it. I'm just going to let them go. This is a huge body pillow that I bought back when I was pregnant with my now 8-year-old, and then I was going to get rid of it, but he took it over and fell in love with it and wanted to keep it, and I said sure. So he has been sleeping with this, but it's one of those things that you can't switch out the cover, so there's no way to wash it. So after 8 years, I told him, this is disgusting. We need to get rid of this. We are going to get rid of this. And then I actually had a new body pillow for when I was pregnant this last time that I've given to him, where we can switch out the cover to wash it. So this is going to go, but we did get a lot of use out of it, and certain items just can't be washed. These lamps came to me secondhand. I bought them from a friend. Then in our most recent update in our bedroom, we spray painted them white, which I love. It looks great in the room. The only problem I'm finding is it's too bulky for the little tables next to our bed. I just want something that I can have a really low light for if I want to read something in bed, or when we're getting ready for bed. I don't want to have the big overhead light. And this is just too big of a lamp for in that room. Plus we have a curtain behind our bed, so there's a curtain behind this. It's just looking very bulky and cluttered. And so I'm going to let both of these go. As of right now, I don't have a replacement for these lamps. I'm happy to report I have a friend moving out who can now use these lamps in her apartment. We're working our way through the pile here, and I'm always shocked at how much I can declutter, even though I feel we are minimal, but there's a lot of things that we do go through. Here's just a baby item that he's grown out of. My mother-in-law came and she read this book and she left it for me. She said, if you want to read it. And I asked her, what is the book about? And she said there's a little bit of a mystery, and I'm not really into mystery books. I don't know about you, but I find it really hard to find comfortable tennis shoes. I have another pair that are exactly like this, but for some reason they fit better, but they're totally worn out. My mom did not like the way these fit on her, so she said, can you use them? I've been trying to walk in them, but they're hurting my feet. So again, instead of holding on to these just in case or for outdoor projects, I'm just gonna let them go. They're in really good condition. Hopefully someone else can use these. And I don't want to hold on to this kind of stuff. This is the kind of stuff I used to hold on to for such a long time and never wear, and just look at and think, oh, okay, I have those for backup for emergency. I don't need that sort of thing anymore. I'm just gonna find something that actually fits and works for me. Here are 2 shirts that still fit my middle son, Calvin. We are trying to downsize his amount of shirts, and these were handed down from his brother. He's not a fan of them. He barely ever wears them. So instead of continuing to cram them in his drawer and trying to make it all fit, knowing he doesn't like them or wear them, I'm just going to let them go. Here we have a dryer casualty. We have got so much use out of this. It's already falling apart, but then it went through the dryer and melted. Here is another big pile of baby clothes that need to go. He's already grown out of all these things, or they are out of season. And I've seen so many closets online, just in general in real life, of baby clothes and kids clothes where the closet is completely packed. No one even knows what's in there. So that's why I'm trying to really keep on top of it, where I'm getting rid of the things right away as soon as I know we don't need them. This just helps me to keep everything organized and know what we have and know if we need something, because I'm not getting distracted by all the items that we definitely do not need. This is the kind of stuff I find in my boys' room all the time. Just little things that, if not thrown away or taken out of their room and donated, just clutters everything up. And when a bin is dumped over, there's just this extra unneeded mess all over the floor that we have to pick up continually over and over again. So if I could get rid of these little things, it really helps me when cleaning, and when they're trying to find something in the bin, there isn't all this just extra unneeded things. The next thing I'm decluttering is this cart. When I just listened to The More of Less by Joshua Becker, he had a section where he talked about leveling, which is where you take an item that you're unsure of whether you want to declutter it or not, and you put it into, say, your garage or your basement, and you think about it. I think the Minimal Mom calls this quarantining or something along those lines. So it's where you just take something that you're unsure of and you put it where you're not going to use it and see if you want it back or if you can use it somewhere else. So that is what I've decided I'm going to do with this cart. This was originally in our kitchen and we used it all the time. Then we came up with a better layout in our kitchen. So I moved it in here thinking this might be a place where I could do crafts, or if I needed some extra space for things. It turns out it's just an area where I set all the things I'm going to declutter, and or things that I don't know where to put something. I just set it here, which is to me a terrible thing when you want to stay clutter-free and more minimal, is to have a place where it attracts clutter. I am going to move this into our garage to see if my husband can use it as a workstation or something like that. And if not, I will either sell it or see if it can be donated to someone who can use this. By making these monthly videos, it's showing me how much clutter I'm actually getting rid of each month, and how much would be here if I wasn't actively decluttering and getting rid of the things that I know I don't need right away. One thing you can do is just snap a photo of all these things you're decluttering all the time, and then you can see exactly how much would be in your home if you were not actively getting rid of all these items, and how much space this takes up. I have everything down here on the floor, and so much of my floor space is being taken up, and that would be being taken up in a cupboard or in a room. Even though it's all spread out, when you put it all together, it's a lot of stuff. A new thing I've started is channel memberships. So if you would like to join my channel and become a member, I have some information down below by clicking the join button. And that's where I'm just going to be putting up some extra content each month to connect with you and answer all of your questions you may have about decluttering, minimalism, or simple living, or really anything you have a question about. Thank you to Noom for sponsoring this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!